Changes afoot at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Daniel Levy is gone. No longer the man in charge of Spurs after 24 years. This change has been brewing all summer, if you look at the signs. Donna Cullen being stepped down. The appointment of Vina as our new sporting director. Joe Lewis being tied up in all sorts of problems, and his children, Vivian and Charlie, taking over the affairs of ENIC and the football club. Does Daniel Levy's departure from Tottenham Hotspur allude to something bigger? Is change coming? Is a takeover coming? Or was Daniel Levy really just a rotten piece of the puzzle that is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club? We're going to talk about that in this video. What is next for Tottenham after that shock departure of our chairman, who has been reigning over us in North London for such a long time? If you haven't seen my initial reaction video to the Daniel Levy news dropping, go and check that out. This is sort of an extension of that, but I want to break it down a little bit more, talk about what is coming for Spurs, Levy's legacy, if we can call that, and whether we are actually going to see a takeover or whether ENIC are going to have more of a role in the sporting side of things going forward. So, as I've already said, Tottenham have been planning a lot of change over the last sort of 6 to 8 months. At the start of the year, this sort of began. We've seen lots of different things come out. We've seen the likes of Vinay appointed as our new sporting director. We've now seen Daniel Levy stepped down. Donna Cullen, his right-hand woman, also gone. Investment talks over the last few weeks and months. Summer spending, that has gone up. We've seen talks of Daniel Levy making absurd statements saying he wants to win the Premier League, wants to win the Champions League. Very out of character for him. And then also rumours of potential investment from Saudi Arabia, from America, from perhaps Qatar. Talks of stadium naming rights finally being agreed. It's all sort of bubbling up at the moment, and this might just be the little push, the little tip of the iceberg that sets the wheels in motion. After Levy has been reported in the news that's come out in the last 24 hours to have been a stumbling block in potential takeover talks. Peter Charrington has been given that non-executive role as chairman, and he has been a firm banker for the last 25 years. So does that suggest that he has been put in that position to help facilitate a takeover at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club? We do have to be careful. If this change is going to happen, we must make the right decision. Either a takeover is going to happen or ENIC are going to be more heavily involved. They have said that Levy's departure has come about due to the failure of sporting achievements over the last 25 years. We all know the story. 2 trophies in that time. 1 League Cup and 1 Europa League very, very recently. I mean, Levy's legacy, we can talk about it because there are things that he's done that are good. I don't want to talk about this whole thing from a biased, one-sided perspective. Daniel Levy is a businessman, and Tottenham as a business have excelled under his reign. There's no doubt of that. 24 years as chairman, took over in 2001 when the club was worth 80 odd million pounds. It's now worth hundreds of millions, if not billions. A recent report, I think it was from the Mail, has just said that Spurs are now valued at £4 billion. And no doubt, Daniel Levy is a driving factor in that valuation going up. He turned us from a mid-table club to regular European competitors, to a team that are always, if not occasionally, out of Europe, to now being regular, a global brand, a brand new state-of-the-art £1 billion stadium, one of the best training grounds and facilities in the country. The issue is, these are all business accolades. These are all things that ultimately, when you ask the fans, they don't care about in a comparison to winning trophies and to winning silverware. If you ask Tottenham fans, would you swap your stadium? Would you swap your training ground to win a Premier League title? I think most of them would say yes. I know I certainly would. The failure on the pitch is why fans are celebrating this change. 2 trophies, as I've mentioned, is not good enough for a team of Tottenham's stature. The 9th richest club in the world. Countless managers and changes of direction, from Mauricio Pochettino to Jose Mourinho to Antonio Conte, all of them failed. It took an incredibly up and down season from Ange Postecoglou last season to actually get that success in motion. It's failing to build on a winning formula. A sleeping giant never awoken. Is that now going to change? Has the giant been nudged? That is the big question. We don't know yet, but all suggestions are that this Levy departure is a positive move. Wage caps at £200,000. Never going out and buying the big players. Yet to break over 70 or 80 million pounds for a player, let alone the £100 million mark, which all of our rivals have seemingly done. Arsenal on Declan Rice, Chelsea on Caicedo and others, Liverpool on Wirtz, Manchester City on Haaland, if you add all of the bonuses and everything else on top of that. Undoubtedly, we have the money to be able to do that. We've just chosen not to, and we've never been able to compete with our rivals because of that. So is this a new era for Spurs? That's the big question. We will sit here and we will celebrate and we will be happy that Daniel Levy has stepped down as chairman. But will we now see more of a focus on the sporting side of things for Tottenham? Daniel Levy said in his statement at the end of last year, we want to win the Premier League. We want to win the Champions League. Was he saying that because it raises expectations for whoever comes in to replace him, and he knew that he wasn't going to be here for that? Or did he genuinely think about it? He's left us, I would say, in a good position to now push on. He reached the end of his line. He fulfilled the role that he needed and had, his potential, you could say. And now it is time for the next person to step up to finally deliver what we all know we are capable of. We know deep down that we are capable of competing for the biggest trophies. But we've never been able to fulfill that potential under the ownership and the chairmanship of Levy and ENIC. And the issue still remains that ENIC are still here. Daniel Levy still holds a 1/3 share in Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. They made it very clear in their statement that that has not changed. So if ENIC are sticking about, how are they now going to get fans on side and deliver this sporting success? That's the big question mark. I think it all starts with investment on the pitch. Not necessarily in January, but if they are still here next summer, how is our recruitment going to change to what it is going to be? Are we going to suddenly get all of our business done early in the window? Are we going to put bids in for the biggest and best players on the continent? That is the next step, I feel, for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Break that 200k wage structure. If you want to compete for the Champions League, if you want to compete for the Premier League, you have to match the teams around you. Arsenal pay big wages. City pay massive wages. Liverpool spending hundreds of millions of pounds. Chelsea, we all know what they are like. We are just that tier below them at the moment because we have been held back for so long. Only time will tell whether this change will happen. And I'm hopeful. For the first time in a long time, I am hopeful that Tottenham Hotspur Football Club can do something special. We know that ENIC now have made it very clear that despite the Europa League win, despite picking up silverware, that's no longer good enough in their standard. And that's how it should be. We are over the hump of celebrating that trophy now. We are hungry for more. We are hungry for constant success. We deserve it after everything that we have been through. The issue is, it's all words at the moment. That action has been taken to step Daniel Levy down. Now what? Time will tell. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you rather ENIC stick around, or would you rather a takeover? Because takeovers are risky business. You know, we've seen it in the past where takeovers have happened and they've just all gone downhill. The club have maybe even overspent and overstretched themselves, and it's all come crumbling around them. We know we've seen what's happened with Newcastle. They're now restricted by PSR regulations. Aston Villa, the same. I know it's all to do with revenue and how much the club generates, and we generate more than them, but still, it's a risk. If we don't bring the right investors in, if we don't bring in the right people to replace Daniel Levy, will we be better off? That's now the big question facing Spurs and ENIC. Do they really want to sell? Would they be willing to sell for less than £4 billion? Because I still think that is a pretty hefty price if you're looking at a takeover. I don't think there are any clubs in the world valued at that sort of money. We will see. But let me know what you think in the comments. What are you making of this whole Daniel Levy saga? What are you making of the changes? Are you happy that Daniel Levy is gone? And what can you see as the next steps? because there's a long road ahead for Spurs now. There are a lot of stuff that still need to be changed and addressed. Unfortunately, change is not a quick thing. Success is not a quick thing. It's not instantly going to change like that. But we're certainly on the right path now. I truly, truly believe that. Peter Charrington, let's see what you can do. Enoch, let's see if you're true to your word. Are you going to prioritise that sporting success? We will see. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. Enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the international break. I'll be back with a new video very, very soon. As always, come on you Spurs.